Somebody asked me, what does it mean to be a strong man? What's the number one character trait that equals strength in a man? It is the desire for what is true. Weaklings don't care what is true. They literally say you can't have truth. There is no such thing as truth. Yes, it's absolutely true that there's no such thing as absolute truth. Well, then you're a moron. You literally just killed your whole argument with your sentence. And this is silliness. 2 + 2 is 4. End of story. It's not 5 on a Tuesday if you like tomatoes and it hurts your feelings if it's 4. No. 4 is the answer. It's just, that is the answer. End of story. Welcome to Durand On Demand. Today we're going to talk to 20-year-olds by giving you some really good advice on how you become a giant in life and slay dragons with me. I'm going to tell you, young men right now are confused and they're afraid, and oftentimes they're just kind of alone. You know this, that young women are getting a better education. More of them are seeking an education. Young men are more inclined to commit crimes and to have bad behaviors and addictions and all these different types of things. Now, I'm happy that young women are doing well in life. That is a great thing. But somewhat of this has come at the cost of men, where they basically make a decision. Men are toxic, men are bad, women are good, so just stop being a man, stop being rambunctious and excited, and stop having a life of a sense of adventure and wanting to take some chances and being a little bit more like a man is, which means physical and everything else. You got to just not listen to what the world is saying that way and engage what it means to be a man on your own. But it's also, there's a confusing message on the opposite side, the Andrew Tate type of thing. You know, it comes with some good message: accept responsibility, get yourself in shape, manage finances, go build something. Yes, these things are good, but the way that he discusses, interacting with women is absolutely heinous. And it doesn't turn you into a man, it turns you into a tiny little boy. The first thing is to seek what is true. Somebody asked me, what does it mean to be a strong man? What's the number one character trait that equals strength in a man? It is the desire for what is true. Weaklings don't care what is true. They literally say you can't have truth. There is no such thing as truth. It's a funny thing when people say that, because you're like, is that true? Yes, it's absolutely true that there's no such thing as absolute truth. Well, then you're a moron. You literally just killed your whole argument with your sentence. And this is silliness. 2 + 2 is 4. End of story. It's not 5 on a Tuesday if you're, if you like tomatoes and it hurts your feelings if it's 4. No. 4 is the answer. It's just, that is the answer. End of story. Why am I on this topic so intensely? Because the number of things that you can be misled by when a person doesn't accept what's true is unbelievable. I'll just give you a small one. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I have other videos on it. But socialism is something that has always failed. Go back to my video if you want to just understand what a massive failure it is. It's never succeeded ever. But these young Americans in their 20s get all excited about the idea of socialism, mostly because they're lazy asses, by the way. People who are driven and inspired would never want socialism because they want to strive for something great. But lazy people who want others to take care of them and don't want to earn a promotion to be in charge, but want to be in charge just because they got hired as a little baby, those people can never be men, ever. There's nothing about socialism which says, I am a man who wants to accomplish great things, provide great things for others, create opportunities, take advantage of what it means to be great. And you have to believe in lies to believe it in the first place, because it's never worked ever at any time. And now, by the way, the response is always, yes, it does. You're a liar. You don't know anything about socialism. But they never provide a fact. They never provide a statistic to show how socialism works and why people want to be in socialist countries. And here's the main proof. All the people from socialist countries that are trying to come here wouldn't be leaving there to come here if it worked. And you know why you're sitting in America talking about socialism and not going to those countries? Because they suck. That's the reason why. Okay? All right. Truth. It's super important. I just delivered some truth. You may not be man enough to handle it. And if you're not, that's fine. This video is not for you. The next thing is, don't be a boy if you want to be a man. If you want to be a man and you're in your 20s, understand that there are 5 levels that people go through before they ultimately reach the highest level of manhood. The first is you're a boy or an adolescent. The difference between a little boy and an adolescent is only age, really, and size. But what makes a boy and an adolescent is they're abundantly selfish, okay? When you want to become a man, you need to now accept sacrifice and the responsibilities of life and the challenge of life. When you're a man, you are repulsed by the idea of living at home with your parents when you're an adult. You're literally repulsed by it. You're like, wait, what? No. Live with my mom and dad and have them take care of me as a full-grown man? If you're not repulsed by that idea and you're like, yeah, I'm staying home because I want to save some money, knock it off, wake up, and go build a life. Get out of your parents' home now and take care of yourself. Accept responsibility and make up for the mistake your parents are making, which is allowing you in there in the first place, and be the adult and get out of the house. If you do that, you can be a giant and slay dragons. But you cannot slay dragons from your mom's basement, watching video games and looking at pornography. You will never find happiness in that. You need to free yourself from these low desires that people have and accept the life of adventure. If you do that, great things are going to happen. The third thing is get a good job and then a great one. Don't be worried about getting the great job. It's a person that's sitting around in their parents' basement going, I'm just waiting to see how I can change the world, how I can have an impact, how I can make a difference. Sitting here playing video games and looking at pornography in my mom and dad's basement while they pay for everything. Because I'm waiting for that really big job that I'm qualifying myself for. I'm living a useless life and I'm waiting for somebody to come along and say, here's a super important job that changed the world. No, go get a kind of crappy job if you need to. Don't even find a good job if you can't. Find a crappy job and learn how to be a good man by being willing to sacrifice and show up at a crappy job, doing a great job at the crappy job. Okay? Then step into something else. But don't sit around doing nothing. You find a good job, and you master that job, then you'll find a great job. See, the way to do it isn't to follow your passion. People always say, oh, follow your passion. Knock it off. Here's what you do. You bring your passion to your work, and then good things are going to happen. And find a job you're good at. This is the biggest thing. As opposed to saying, oh, my passion is music. I'm not that good at it, but I'm going to follow the passion. Don't. You're not going to make money at it. I mean, a very small percentage of people might. That's fine. But really, play the guitar on the weekend. Instead, go find a job, become good at it, and you will find that you have great satisfaction. Even if you never dreamed of selling paper clips, but you become great as a paperclip salesperson, you're going to have greater satisfaction than being bad at the guitar and trying to make money at it and still living in your parents' basement. Go do something, find a job, then get your great job. Get out there, get started. The fourth thing, find a virtuous woman and marry her. This wait forever to get married ridiculousness, it doesn't make sense. And there's all sorts of coaches out there that say, what you need to do is get physically fit and take care of your finances. And then when you're 35 and you've had a lot of experience with a lot of different women and you've done all these different things before you accept responsibility, you're going to be a prime candidate for young women who are beautiful to like you. Yeah, but there's a problem. You're going to mess up your head if you do that. Okay? You're going to learn to become selfish because you've never had to sacrifice for anybody. You go where you want, when you want, whenever you want. Now you might have more money and you might be more attractive. And so you can kind of wink at any woman that you want at any different time, and you will build habits that are not good habits for actually having a fulfilling life. People like that, they're not happy later in life. Okay? In the moment, they even have dissatisfaction, but they won't tell you on their Instagram. They're not going to tell you on their TikTok. They're not going to tell you on their social media. They're going to go, yo, this is the way to do it. This is awesome. But they're going home at night feeling unfulfilled. In order to make up for it, whatever debauchery they had the day before, they have to have it a higher dose in order to just find some satisfaction at all. Because ultimately speaking, being a strong, good man means sacrificing for somebody else and building something that's going to last forever. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, nobody's going to remember Andrew Tate. Nobody's going to remember Andrew Tate. But if you go out and you build a great family, people are going to remember you. And that's going to matter way more. So find a virtuous woman and marry her. The next thing is have kids before you can afford it. Why am I saying that? Because one of the biggest lies out there is that you're going to build wealth by being single and going out and having this life and doing all this traveling, blah, blah, blah. The wealthiest people in the United States are married with kids. Absolutely, they are married with kids. Whenever I worked with young guys and they said, I'm getting married, I was like, yes, productivity is going to go up. And I saw a difference. They're like, I'm having a baby. I'm like, yes, you're going to turn into a rocket ship of strong performance. And they do. I mean, this is an amazing thing because you have to sacrifice from somebody else. You accept responsibility. You're not just in this selfish mode of doing things only for yourself. The sixth thing is learn more daily. There's nothing worse than a person who's 20 years old who doesn't bother to learn anything good or new. And by the way, learning itself is not good. Learning good stuff is good. When people are like, I'm reading a book. Okay, well, who's the author? What are they saying? Is it stupid? Is it Karl Marx? What are you reading? Okay. Is it Nietzsche? Read good material. If you read good material, you become good. If you read facts, you become smarter. If you read philosophy, and it's good philosophy, and it teaches you how to think, you can think better. You read history, you can become smarter. You read fiction, and you learn more about the way human beings actually work and interact because you're reading about something that has good psychology behind it. Read religious and spiritual books, but things that make sense, that seek the truth. A spiritual book that has no interest in the truth is not a helpful thing, by the way. Neither is a religious one. The truth is the thing that matters, and if you seek it, good things are going to happen in your life. Learn more daily. Otherwise, you're going to be a 20-year-old that becomes a 21-year-old. Your body has changed, okay? Your habits may have changed, but your knowledge and your intellect hasn't changed because of that. And all of a sudden, you repeat that process for 20 years, and now you're a 40-year-old and a 20-year-old. You're a 20-year-old, I should say, in a 40-year-old's body. Don't have the same repeat experience over and over again. Learn something. Pay attention to learn something. But don't just randomly learn. Learn good things. At the core, make sure it's true. And the seventh thing is don't be naive. Naive people, and I'm bookending this, they don't care about what's true. That's a reality of naivete. But the other thing about a naive person is they're lazy. Naive people, they're not willing to be arduous when it comes to becoming better and learning and following ideas. So they're very deceived. They're likely to follow bad leaders. They're the person who doesn't realize they're watching somebody. They're following this person that says, oh, how to make 7 figures quickly. And the person's never made 7 figures. How to live this amazing life, this life of luxury. And the person doesn't live a life of luxury. They're classically the person still living in their parents' basement that's never accomplished anything, but they've learned how to make some pretty cool videos because they want a lot of clickbait and they want to feel famous without actually doing anything. You have to be able to recognize the difference between a charlatan who provides naive people silly advice that doesn't produce a result and people who produce really good results with you. People have a track record of raising people up behind them to become very successful. And if you've raised people up behind you who've become successful, people that have not just I've helped people make millions, tens of millions of dollars, and they have that success. But that's not the only thing that I'm talking about. I'm talking about raising up people behind you who are good with their families, who understand how to take care of responsibility in their life. And if you see that wake in that track record, that's the type of person that you want to pay attention to. And if you're naive, you're not going to. You're just going to run around going, oh, neat, that's cool. And you're going to also be just a sucker for marketing. I'm going to buy that because famous person had it. Oh, I watched somebody drink that, so I'm going to drink that because I'm like them now. It will provide no satisfaction for you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't like fashions other people have and buy them, but don't buy them because you think you're going to be that person. Buy them because you just happen to like it. Otherwise, people start buying silly things that they don't like just because somebody else has them and they're just trying to be a completely different person. If you do these things in your 20s, you're going to build great habits by the time you're in your 30s. And if you're in your 30s and you didn't get this message in your 20s, then do it now. And then you will find great satisfaction later in life when you go from being a boy to an adolescent to a man to a mentor, which means that you've done so many great things in life, you want to share them with other people, and then ultimately speaking, a patriarch who is built behind a great legacy of other people in their family. If you do that, you can be a giant. We can go slay some dragons. Hey there, giant. Thanks for watching Durand On Demand. I need your help with something. The world desperately needs more giants. You know it, and I know it. We've been around a lot of people struggling, figuring out how to make things go. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with as many people as you can. We're going to build this audience, and we're going to help people slay dragons together.